Hello and welcome to a new game here on the channel, and let's play a little game of can you guess what this game is. Now I'm going to give you a hint, it doesn't normally look like this. The wintry update has made it all snowy. Normally it's just green. Do you know? No? Does this help you? If you still don't know, that's not surprising because it's not the sort of thing that I've played on this channel before really. Because this is Railroads Online. And while I'm currently not actually playing online, it's still Railroads. And as you can see, I've got a bunch of track. Now, if you have seen this game before, great, you can tell me everything I'm doing wrong. If you haven't, which I assume is probably most of you, let me explain what this game is. So basically, there is a bunch of track that you can lay. We can lay loads of track, and we can just stick track around, and we can have different placement modes to place loads of track, and this is not a good bit of track. But what do we need to do track for? Well, on the map, if we look at this, there's a bunch of industries around, and what we have to do is we have to go to the industries with these cars or other ones and pick up the stuff that they output, take it to other places, sell it, pick up more resources, take them to other places, and make money. What I've currently got is a route to the logging camp and the sawmill. And we can also just teleport over here because magic. This is where the track comes in to the logging camp. From here we pick up logs, then we take those logs over to the sawmill and we drop them off this thing here into the pond. And then over the other side we can pick up new resources. But of course there's a bit more to it than just drive these flat cars around, because if we go into this menu, these are the ones I have, but to take the stuff that comes out of the sawmill, we need these ones. There's also these ones, and this hopper, and a tanker, and a box car, and caboose, way car, snowplow, and then we have a bunch of trains, and they're all very cool, and very big, and very expensive, and I cannot afford any of them because I am poor. I have a total of 740 Porter, this little one here, which defaults being called Betsy, costs a nice 1900. I couldn't even afford to get another Porter. But this being Railroads Online, it's not just here have some modern trains, they're all steam trains because it's set in the 1800s, so you've got the period correct trains, and they work like trains. You see, we've got a whole bunch of stuff down the bottom here, a bunch of little metrics on the side. We've got the boiler pressure, the air brake pressure. This doesn't have air brakes, so that's just zero. The water temperature, water level, fire temperature, fuel. It's running out of fuel. Let me just refill it. And to refill it, we have to go down here, and we have to open up this door. Then we have to grab some firewood from this. And we have to throw the firewood into here. And then we can start that again. And if we want to, we can control it from here. So I think it's connected to the cars, yes. We can take the brake here, and we can take the brake off. Then we can get the rag. We can turn the rag up. Put the reverse already and forward. Although, personally, I prefer to sit in here. So, the one here we got the regulator, that's basically your throttle. The reverser is how much forwards and backwards you've got. Brakes, whistles. It's a whistle. Generator and compressor we don't have. I will not press the bell because it's really loud and doesn't shut up. The sander drops down the tracks when you're going up steep hills and you're losing traction. The cylinder cocks do this. That currently doesn't do anything, but on a real locomotive, that would be a useful part of maintenance. Now, hopefully, the frames are not too bad. I have to hope, because I've turned the graphics settings down a bit, but it might still be a bit gnarly. So, hopefully, it's fine. But I've played a few hours of this game already, and I've run this train like a couple of times. This is like third time I'm actually driving this train out of the freight depot. Now all of this track I have laid myself, and all of the trees in the way I have chopped down, because you can make the track go anywhere you like. And I've tried to make sure that it doesn't have too steep gradients, because that would be difficult for when you're hauling large loads like this, because I have this tiny little engine which is currently pulling 8 flat cars, but in a minute they will not be flat cars. They will be flat cars loaded with logs, and each flat car can take 6 logs, and each log weighs 2 tons. So That's a lot of weight that I will be pulling. Fortunately, little Betsy is quite powerful, and so we are fine. You can see we're coming up to my little triangle junction, and we're going to go straight on to go down to the logging camp. Immediately after that one, there's then another one, because this one goes direct to the sawmill, so we will come back along the track over there, because I will want to go straight to the sawmill rather than going through that junction. So about here that we start going uphill. I think it's about 1%. It's not too bad. It should be fine to tow a lot more flat cars than this, and fortunately it's uphill with the empties rather than trying to tow the loaded ones uphill, because we might have difficulty if they were all loaded. Because this game simulates weight of stuff, and I have it set to realistic because I wanted to make my life just that bit more difficult. So it's gonna be a challenge to get up hills with lots of stuff. But, I mean, that's how it works in real life. Now these giant embankments of snow are actually gravel. They're just covered in snow because of the winter update. Over here you have some cordwood, I think it is. Yeah, you can pick up cordwood from there. I don't need the cordwood yet. I also don't have the cars for it. So we're going to go around this massive loop that I have built, which goes and comes out over there and goes over to the other side of the station where we get the logs. There's a large embankment bit over here. There's a little valley, and we should now be coming around back towards the industry, and yep, here's the corner back the other way. And I'm actually going to cut the right here and start braking, because even with only empties, it's still a lot of weight, and brakes on this thing are not that good. That's fine. Then what we do is we just click these cranes, and then they spin around, and they just go and drop the logs on here, and then they teleport into place. And then we just have to keep doing this for like 20 minutes. Okay, that's a little bit exaggerated, but it's a bit tedious loading these up. Well, I've loaded up the entire train now. We just have to take the brakes off and floor it. And it's gonna take us a while to get going. We're pulling 96 tons, not including the weight of the train or the actual cars themselves. Although I imagine the logs are the vast majority of the weight. Yeah, we're not stopping if we want to. Unfortunately, we do need to stop because there's a set of points that I need to switch to be able to actually go to the sawmill rather than going back to the freight depot. So I am actually going to have to make the train slow down enough that I can jump out and run on my head and flick some switches. We're going back down this snowy curve now, and I will have to slam on the brakes in a second. Not that that will do anything. Yep, so slam on the brakes, and now we just sit here for a bit as it slows down. So yeah, this is me fully on the brakes. You can't really tell. It's this point that you can just see up there. I need to go and switch. I'm running at like the same speed as the train. Okay, that's not particularly good. Well, at least it's slowing down, whereas I'm going constant speed. So I need to run over and just switch that. Oh, the train's right here. That was closer than I thought it would be. As you can see, we're still going quite fast, even after braking for a while. Now, instead of going this way, we're going towards the sawmill. And I'm going to have to slam on the brakes again, because we're going to need to slow down over here. Well, we don't actually need to stop here. We just need to slow down. We just unload these while we're moving. I can just click the unload button on a bunch of these. And then they just fall into the pond. And this little number here, this little number goes up. Oh, I missed that one. That's a minor issue. Come back here. Get in the pond. Oh, I'm probably going to miss some of those because I'm too slow. Or not. That one missed, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. But now you see there's 46 logs in here. and they will get absorbed into this and turn into produce for the other side. Now I'm going to go and get back in the train because it's still moving. And now we can see how much money do we have. Now we have 1,220. Nice. There's another really tall snowy banked curb here because there are bridges in this game. I just haven't used them yet. I've just used big embankments instead because that's easier. Now you may be thinking that as I'm coming into my freight depot now, my train is at the wrong end. I want the engine to be at the other end of the train because you don't particularly want to be pushing. We actually don't want to go that way, we want to go this way instead. And how am I going to get the train to the other end? Well, I have some stuff set up for that. I could have gone and made another loop at the end of this, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I probably should have done that. That would have been easier. I took the more interesting option of building a little switching thing so that I can go in, spin the train around, and then drive past and attach myself to the other end. So, full speed over here. Now the freight depot building that's in the trees and you can't see yet, we can choose to drop off cargo there, but the logs I would rather drop off at the sawmill so that they get turned into produce. However, the stuff that comes from the sawmill, well, I don't currently have a route to the next industries, so I don't have anywhere to put them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tie a brake on here and just detach that and then just hop back in the train. And hopefully that should slow down fast enough that it doesn't get on the way of these points. So we are actually going to get the produce from the sawmill and deliver it to the freight depot. We could also get to the other side, but I haven't needed to do that yet. So what we do is we drive down here into the forest. I don't quite know why I made this so long. I just got a bit carried away and it goes a long way down here. And then you see this is a turntable, and I've done something that would make the turntable completely not function, which is have the train on one side, because of course real turntables from this era were just hand pushed, and that means that you've got to have the weight of the train perfectly balanced on the centre so that it spins. Otherwise it causes too much friction or whatever on one end and it will not turn. So if you get the weight perfectly balanced, one person on their own can spin an entire massive train. Of course, this is not a massive train, and this is a video game, so I don't have to actually align it perfectly. I can just shove it roughly on here, and it works fine. Now we just have to line this with this. Yeah, that's good enough. And then we can floor it again. And I'll just have to switch the points down here. So now we can drive past them, and we can go down, points down there, and reattach at the other end. And then we can shunt them into one of these sidings, because I'm going to get some new stuff. This is why I made it so long, because these 8 go most of the way down to the turntable. So we're going back into here. I will just have to remember to start braking sooner than that. Emergency braking, tie some on the cars as well. Bonk. We had a little bonk, it's fine. There is a magic re-rail button. And then we're gonna get some of these. Now we can put stuff, we can put like a name on it, we can have a number. There are also those different paint schemes you can have, and they're all variations of the colour brown. So we're just going to get some standard ones. So I bought 4 of them and the game decided that 2 can go over there and 2 can go over there. That's slightly annoying. Time to go and pick them all up then. So I hooked up 4 of these and we can just get going to pick up some of the fancy stuff that it gives. Now then, I want to jump out and flick this switch so that we can go around to the back side of it. Never actually driven down this bit of track before. Let's see how it works. A bit of snow here. That doesn't care that the sleepers are slightly in the snow. This is also a slightly sharper corner than I would like, although it's not actually that bad. Anyway, we're going to ignore the beams and instead grab lumber because it's worth more. And I should have braked a lot sooner than that. I've filled up the train, now we just have to haul this back home again. I'm not actually sure whether this is heavier. So we're going to get these back to the freight depot and sell them, and then that will be the end of the episode because I need to actually finish this at some point and not just keep recording. You don't want to watch a 2-hour long episode, so we're going to do some stuff off camera, by which I mean I'm going to build loads of track. Also, I'll probably run some trains because I want a better engine than Betsy, because Betsy is nice, but Betsy isn't very good. Betsy is quite slow. She does not have that much tractive effort. You saw how much she was struggling to pull the lumber train. So I want a longer lumber train, and I want to actually be able to pull it. So I might see if I can get a better engine, and I want to go and start delivering to the smelter and the iron ore mine. Probably not in the same episode, because if I just look at this spreadsheet, which cuts the audio, but I have it on a second screen, I can't see that. What is it? The iron mine takes both of them, takes beams and lumber and outputs iron ore. The smelter takes cordwood and iron ore and outputs rails and raw iron. Yes, we want to go to the iron mine sort of first, but you probably go there via the smelter just because of the way the map works. So what we do to unload this is a similar trick to the other place. We just go boop, boop, and get smashed in the face by it. But we don't actually just stop the train at all. We can just let the train keep running as it delivers all this. Yeah, I probably should just build a loop because I'm gonna be honest, this is getting a little bit tedious going and spinning it around on the turntable every time. But yes, this is going to be it for this video. So thank you for watching. Don't get distracted. Go subscribe now, and until next time, goodbye.